Welcome to my podcast. Today I'm going to talk about another common case. It seems to happen now in the UK and the rich countries. And I'm going to just talk about the current situation and the updates. So it's about concerning an alarming rise in the TB rate in the UK and USA. So it has been estimated that in the past year, around 67 people has been detected with TB since the start of the COVID pandemic. And as it's been stated, and as we all know, it's more common in the low-income country. It continued to prevail in deprived communities, cities, prison, homelessness, Black, Asian, indigenous people. Also including in the wealthy country, such as the UK and USA, which of course has great implication, and this reflects cracks in the national health system. As we know, TB is airborne and doesn't respect any boundary or border whatsoever. And with the increase, of course, as we can witness the world nowadays, mass movement due to climate change or due to war zones. So TB anywhere is TB everywhere. And in the UK, there has been a decline between the period of time 2011 to 2020. However, this has been reversed since the pandemic, as the state with the USA. So in 2023, it has been estimated that there is a rise of 13% compared to the previous year, which is 2022. And this will jeopardize the low TB incidence status. And as we know, TB is a social disease of poverty which thrives mostly in overcrowding, undernutrition, poor working and living status, which is aligned with the increase, of course, nowadays with the rise of living cost and the crisis around it, where the poor struggle to put food on the table. And we know that the only effective measure is BCG vaccination, which is a very preventative measure. However, the saga around the misinformation, which is driving the hesitancy for the uptake of the vaccine. Also, some people are not very fully aware of the TB and its implication and the stigma around TB. So all of those affect and will have their implication as well. And as we know, certain countries, like for instance Europe and some other countries, they have measures, some policy in place which can be used to identify and treat tuberculosis in groups whenever it's pinpointed, and especially in those who are at risk of exposure, and especially if some people are moving from certain area with a high risk of TB. So in that regard, it means like screening is very essential, of course, and as there is under-resource by 11%, comparing to 2023. Also, it has been found that UK-born and non-UK-born, which often overlap the social risk factor, can play an important factor, such for instance, in homelessness, asylum seeker, and those who are using drugs and alcohol and misuse way, and incarceration, and those with mental health problem and disorder, which of course all of that contribute and drive the TB. So from that concept, it means like early diagnosis and early treatment is crucial to prevent long-term health issue, probably death, which help to decrease the infection rate and the dissemination among groups. However, current state in the UK shown that there is like a current delay of 4 months for starting the treatment since diagnosis with the typical symptom and signs of TB that we all know, which is malaise, night sweating, cough, weight loss, so all of that, which will put the UK in a similar situation to low and middle income countries such as Nepal, Peru, and Mozambique. So this implies that timely measure is very crucial and important, as the saying says that we need to treat the patient or the person rather than the disease. So all in all, it's very important to identify and diagnose and treat as early as possible in order to minimize the risk of the infection and the transmission, and of course raise the awareness about the effectiveness of BCG in preventing the disease. So I hope by that I just covered what's the current situation of the TB in the UK and USA, and what measure should be employed to tackle and try to minimize the current situation. Thank you.